So Canelo Alvarez have stated that he wants to fight the winner of Beterbiev versus Bivol for undisputed. That's the type of fight that will motivate him. I mean, how can you not get motivated by undisputed? Canelo did make it clear he only wants Bivol in a rematch for undisputed. In other words, he only wants to go up to 175 again to fight Bivol. However, before he fought Kovalev and after he fought Kovalev, Canelo said he desperately wanted to fight Beterbiev. That's the fight he wanted, but Beterbiev was occupied. He was busy, he already had a fight. I don't know what Canelo talking about because at that time Beterbiev was also calling out Canelo. Either way, the stakes are higher now. Beterbiev went from unified to undisputed and he's also older. So there is no excuses for Canelo not to fight Beterbiev right now if he truly wanted to fight him back then, like he was claiming he wanted to. After Beterbiev beat Bivol in a very close fight, we will all love to see Canelo fight Beterbiev. More importantly, we would love to see Canelo keep his word and not backtrack like he usually does. Canelo always brags about his chin. So surely he has nothing to worry about fighting Beterbiev. Canelo is also faster. He's way younger. Beterbiev is 40 years old, and by the time he fight Canelo, he's probably going to be 41. Therefore, the fight is a no-brainer. This is the fight Canelo is asking for. This is the type of legacy fight Canelo was looking for. So if Canelo doesn't fight Beterbiev next, we all know what time it is. He doesn't want the same fate Danny Garcia received fighting Lara. To be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing Canelo fight Beterbiev or Bivol. Both fights are great fights. Even Bivol in defeat, he fought a great fight. I watched the fight again. I told you guys before, I scored the fight as a draw because there were a lot of swing rounds in that fight, in which at the end of the round, I didn't know who won the round. I had to go back and rewatch these rounds in order to determine who won them. And when I did that, it was still hard to score. And I could see why the judges gave the fight to Beterbiev, because he managed to hurt Bivol. Beterbiev actually managed to hurt Bivol in a lot of rounds. And in a lot of these rounds, especially the close ones, when you see someone get hurt and go on his bicycle, you're obviously gonna lean and give it toward the guy who hurt the other person. And that's why the judges gave a lot of rounds to Beterbiev. Bivol fought great. He had the perfect game plan and he executed. However, he had a monster in front of him. Even though Bivol was landing the eye-catching shots, the ones you can see clearly. However, Beterbiev, on the other hand, he was also landing, but you really couldn't tell. Due to how Beterbiev delivered the shots, they are short and compact. On top of that, Bivol had his hands up all the time. So when Beterbiev was scoring in between his hands, in between his gloves, you really couldn't see the shot clearly. Or you would assume Bivol partially blocked it because he had his hands up. But a lot of times, Beterbiev will actually punch Bivol through his guard or around his guard, between his gloves or around his gloves. Beterbiev was landing like that majority of the night. That's why you see Bivol face more swollen than Beterbiev. Beterbiev's face looked clean, even though he got hit cleanly or clearly more than Bivol did. However, Bivol was getting hurt for a reason. He wasn't getting hurt because he blocked the shot and Beterbiev hit so hard that he hurt him through the glove. That's not the case. The reason why Beterbiev was hurting Bivol during a lot of rounds was because Beterbiev was scoring by landing through his gloves or around his gloves. You see, when you're fighting Beterbiev, you can't just rely on blocking all of his shots. That's just for backup. And that's why we saw Bivol utilize his footwork more than ever, and even head movement. Bivol tried to slip the haymakers by Beterbiev as much as he could to make him miss completely. However, blocking was really just the backup, being extra secure. And even then, Bivol doing everything right. Beterbiev managed to get his offense off. But like I said before, the major difference between Bivol and Beterbiev offense is that Bivol offense was more eye-catching. You can see the shots way better. However, Beterbiev, you really couldn't see the shots because Bivol had his hands up and a lot of shots were in between and around the gloves that he scored. Also, let me put y'all on game, especially the decafs. Instead of trolling in the comment section, you guys might want to take notes. When Bivol throws a 3-punch combo, for example, sometimes or a lot of times, 1 is to set up, 2 is to score, 3 is to reset and to defend, and also to get his opponent off balance, push his head down. He would throw a hook, but he's not trying to score it. He just throws it to push Beterbiev either down or out of the way and then circle him. Then Beterbiev has to reset. He's off balance. He can't do anything. Well, Beterbiev was doing that to Bivol as well, his own way. With his offense, he will throw throwaway shots, so you couldn't tell what was throwaway shots and what was the real punches. And trust me, them 6-inch Bruce Lee punches that Beterbiev be throwing, those are equivalents of haymakers. They are just as significant as Bivol eye-catching blows. They are the reason why Bivol face looked like this at the end of the fight. They are the reason why Bivol was getting hurt. Bivol wasn't getting hurt because he was getting hit on the glove. No, he was getting hurt because he was getting hit in between his gloves or around his gloves, like I said before. And then, of course, Beterbiev will throw, just like Bivol, a shot to make Bivol reset so he can't counter. So it was a lot of skill in the ring. And I would love to see Canelo fight the winner or the loser, because either fight is going to be a great fight for Canelo, a fight that makes sense, either for undisputed against Beterbiev or a rematch with Bivol, because Bivol already beat him, and Bivol, leading up to this fight, was making fun of Canelo, calling Canelo out for his BS, saying, I was waiting a year and a half for the Canelo rematch. I was willing to go down to 168 even to fight Canelo. And he rejected the fight. But all of a sudden now, he want to say he want to fight the winner. Well, we're going to hold Canelo Alvarez up to his word. Therefore, it remains to be seen who Canelo is going to be fighting next. He has 3 options, or 4 options actually now. Beterbiev for undisputed, Bivol for his rematch, David Benavidez in an all-Mexican war, or I should say the winner of Benavidez versus David Morrell, and lastly, Terrence Bud Crawford. Canelo has a lot of great options. We shall see who he's going to fight next. I believe he's going to go with the safest route. Even then, that's going to be a lovely fight. On the other hand, if Canelo does choose the easiest route instead of Beterbiev, David Benavidez, and the guys in his own division, then of course we want to see the rematch between Beterbiev and Bivol. They do have unfinished business because the fight was close. Like I said before, the fight could have went either way. However, Bivol did give up a lot of rounds, or I should say Beterbiev took the rounds. Because not just his aggression. I hear a lot of people say his aggression. Aggression doesn't mean anything if it's not effective. The ring general is the one in control, not the one moving forward. But the way Bivol was backing up when he was getting hurt, or when he got hurt, you got to give credit to Beterbiev for that, because he managed to hurt Bivol. He was actually able to score, and then he capitalized on that. And that's why he managed to steal a lot of rounds. The same thing Bivol was trying to do with his flurries. Beterbiev did as well, with his heavy hands, his power shots that didn't look like much, but clearly they were so much that he managed to hurt Bivol, something Canelo couldn't do with his haymakers. Beterbiev was able to do with his 6-inch Bruce Lee type of punches. So you can't complain that Beterbiev won the fight. Now, what you guys can complain about is how Canelo be contradicting himself. He said he don't want to fight Crawford because Crawford moves around. He was using Eddie Hearn talking point, even though Crawford knocks shit more than Canelo does, and that's a fact. Even then, Canelo said he wants to fight somebody that's going to come forward like Edgar Berlanga, who moves more than Crawford does. Or like Amir Khan, who moves more than Crawford does. I can go all day, right? But since that's the case, since Canelo wants a Mexican war, then how come he doesn't fight David Benavidez? Or better yet, why he don't show us by fighting Beterbiev? Remember, all Beterbiev does is come forward. We all know what time it is. If Canelo is like that, he will fight Beterbiev. Remember, Canelo fought Kovalev, who was washed up. Or I should say, when Kovalev was washed up, completely done. Nevertheless, if Canelo doesn't, which most likely he won't, I want to see Beterbiev versus Bivol rematch. I think Beterbiev can do better by actually focusing on the body, going to the body consistently with his jab and power punches. Instead of head hunting, he should have been body hunting against someone with the top of fluid footwork as Bivol and defense. You got to chop the tree down. And as tired as Bivol was in the final round, if Beterbiev did go to the body consistently instead of head hunting, then we could have been looking at a different fight. So we shall see if Beterbiev does that in the rematch. On the other hand, I don't think Bivol can do anything differently or better. I think Bivol fought the perfect fight. He just has to make sure he don't get too greedy sometimes and get caught in between his shots and get hurt by Beterbiev. And also, he better pray that Father Time is going to catch up to Beterbiev, because by the time he fight him again, like I said before, he's going to be almost 41. With that being said, go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below. And to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace out. Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.